Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Laurie here with Story Time. We are going to be doing story time like this for a couple months, but hopefully real soon you'll be able to get back into the library and we can do it together, okay? So today's stories are all about polar bears. I have my little friend here. He's so soft. Okay, so we're going to start like we always start with story time. We're going to do our hello song. So everybody start clapping your hands, okay? We clap and sing hello, we clap and sing hello. With all our friends it's story time, we clap and sing hello. Hello everybody. All right. And since our theme is polar bears, we're going to do a finger play with polar bears. So we're going to use our fingers, or you can use your thumbs, whichever you're more comfortable with, okay? We're going to do two little polar bears sitting on a hill. One named Jack, one named Jill. Run away, Jack, run away, Jill. Come back, Jack, come back, Jill. Did you do that with me? Okay, let's do it again. Ready? Two little polar bears sitting on a hill. One named Jack, one named Jill. Run away, Jack, run away, Jill. Come back, Jack, come back, Jill. Okay, now, two little, polar bears digging in the snow. One named Fast, one named Slow. Run away, Fast. Did you see it? Run away, Slow. This may take a while. There he goes. Come back, Fast. Come back, Slow. Very good. Okay, now my first book may sound familiar, the story, and it's called The Three Snow Bears, and this was by Jan Brett. And we're sharing this book with you with permission from Penguin Random House Publishing. So we have their permission to do this. I like Jan Brett. I love her illustrations. There's always something special going on the side. Come back, Aluki shouted as her huskies floated out to sea. Oh no! She knew that although an ice floe is a good place to fish, it is a bad place to lose a dog team. Not far away, a snow bear family had just started to eat their breakfast, but it was way too hot for Baby Bear. You guess what story this might be like? Owie, yowled Baby Bear, my breakfast burned my mouth. We'll go for a stroll and let the soup cool, Mama Bear said. Here they go. Aluki was running along looking for her dogs when she came upon the biggest igloo she had ever seen. Who lives there, I wonder? You have to check out the sides because there's a lot going on the ends of the pages. Aluki ducked inside. Right away, she smelled something delicious. Across the room, she saw a big bowl, a middle-sized bowl, and a small bowl. Surely the good smell was coming from the three bowls. Aluki took a sip from the biggest bowl. Ow! She cried out, too hot. She took a sip from the middle-sized bowl. Ew, too cold. She tipped up the littlest bowl and drank every drop. She said, not too hot and not too cold. In the next room, Aluki spotted 3 pairs of beautiful boots standing in a row. She put on the biggest boots. Too big, she said. She put on the middle-sized boots. Too fancy, she said. She put on the littlest pair. Just right, she said, wiggling her toes in the soft fur lining. Do you see what's going on the side? Look at the bears are helping the dogs that got loose. Aluki walked into the last room and found a long sleeping bench piled high with fur covers. Heat from an oil lamp warmed her cheeks and made her sleepy. Time for a nap, she thought. She crawled under the highest mound of covers. Too lumpy, she grumbled. She tried the middle bed with the furry fringe over, but sank down so far that she could hardly breathe. Too soft, she said. She rolled over into the smallest sleeping place. The furry blanket was cozy and warm, and the pillow was just her size. Just right, Aluki murmured, and was asleep before she could take her boots off. If Aluki hadn't fallen fast asleep, she might have heard her dogs barking happily. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear had spotted them adrift in the strong current and gone out to save them. The Snow Bear family was pushing Aluki's dog team back toward their igloo and safety. Yay! Papa Bear crawled into the igloo and saw his big bowl sitting in a pool of spilled soup. "Someone has been tasting my soup," he roared. Mama Bear rushed in and saw that her soup had been sloshed around too. "Someone has been sipping my soup," she growled. "Someone found my soup," sputtered Baby Bear in her high, squeaky voice, "and they ate it all up." Papa Bear ran into the next room and saw his boots in the middle of the floor. "Someone has been trying on my boots," he boomed in his big bear voice. Mama Bear put on her fancy boots. "Someone has had these boots on," she huffed, "and the fur is all bunched up." Baby Bear saw that her boots had disappeared. "Someone has taken my boots and left behind these not as good ones," she wailed. The bears ran into their bedroom. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," Papa Bear bellowed. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed too," Mama Bear cried. Baby Bear peeked at her little bed and squeaked. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed, and here she is." Aluki opened her eyes and saw 3 bears' noses only inches away. You won't be that close to a bear. She hopped out of bed and dove between Papa Bear's huge furry legs. Quicker than a seal, Aluki ran from room to room until she burst outside. Her huskies bounced around, barking and smiling their doggy grins. Aluki and her dogs flew over the frozen ice, dodging ridges and cracks. She looked back to wave a thank you to the snow bears. She couldn't see them, but she heard a big gruff voice, a middle-sized voice, and a high squeaky voice calling to her. And here's the bears waving bye-bye. Okay. Did you figure out what story that sounded like? Well, you can let me know. All right. So now we're going to do a flannel board story. And I have Marco the polar bear right here. Okay, Marco the polar bear sat on the ice near the cold water's flow. Lunch, I need lunch, he said. He stuck in his paw, and up came a fish. What color is it? Can you see? Blue, very good. Okay, here we go again. Marco the polar bear, as white as snow, sat on the ice near the cold water's flow. Lunch, I need lunch, he said. He stuck in his paw and came up with a redfish. There we go. One more time. Marco the polar bear, as white as the snow, sat on the ice near the cold water's flow. Lunch, I need lunch, he said. He stuck in his paw and came up with a purple fish. There you go. He's probably not hungry anymore. You see? There you go. All right. Now, my next story is called Panda and Polar Bear by Matthew J. Beck. And we have permission from Dial Books for Young Readers under Penguin Random House Publishing. So I can share this book with you today. Okay. In a place where spring met winter, there lived two kinds of bears. Where it was green and grassy, lived a panda bears. See, there's the panda bear. And where it was white and wintry, lived the polar bears. But in between loomed a tall, steep, and slippery cliff. It was too tall for the panda bear to climb up, and too tall for the polar bear to climb down. And so the two never met. Until one curious polar bear became too curious. What was beyond his white, wintry world? He walked closer to the edge of the cliff, and closer still, perhaps a little too close. The polar bear covered, oops, I skipped a page here. Okay, luckily the polar bear landed in a patch of soft, squidgy mud. It was sticky and brown and yuck. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Something was coming. The polar bear ran, but the cliff was too tall, too steep, and too slippery to climb up. Stomp, stomp, stomp. What do you think is making that noise? The polar bear covered his eyes. He peeked from behind his muddy paws. And saw a strange, splotchy bear staring at him. Are you new? Asked the strange, splotchy bear. Do you want to play? Said the polar bear. The splotchy bear took this as a yes. In no time, they were climbing trees, playing hide and seek, and following the leader. Finally, they sat down for a snack. Ick, thought the polar bear, this bamboo is too hard. He had a better idea. Let's fish, he said to his new splashy friend. The polar bear looked into the water and gasped. Could it be? He wasn't plain white anymore. He had turned into a splotchy bear. And splash! He swam out, snatched a fish, and proudly presented his catch. You're fading, the splotchy bear said. Where are your panda's patches? Panda patches, the polar bear replied. Aren't you a panda bear? Asked the splotchy bear. No, he said quietly. I'm a polar bear. I'm all white, just like snow. He sighed. What terrible splotchy panda bear would want to be friends with a plain white polar bear? But the panda's face brightened. I've never seen snow, he said. What's it like? We all know what it snows like, don't we? So the polar bear explained all about snow. But the more he talked, the more he remembered, and the more he remembered, the more he missed. Suddenly, the polar bear was homesick. I'll help you get home, said the panda bear. But the cliff, the polar bear replied. I'll think of something, said the panda. So he thought and thought and thought until he couldn't think anymore. Maybe we could use bamboo, suggested the polar bear. My mother told me never to play with food, but I think it's okay this time, said the panda bear. Because that's what pandas eat is bamboo. Bamboo. Together they made a very long ladder. A very, very long ladder. When it was finished, the time had come for the polar bear to go. He looked at the panda bear. Would they still be friends after he left? The polar bear wanted to ask, but he wasn't sure how. Instead, he turned and slowly climbed the ladder, and climbed and climbed. The higher he went, the harder the wind blew. The ladder began to shake, and then it was suddenly still. The polar bear looked down. There was the panda bear, holding on to the ladder with all his might. Don't worry, the panda called. I've got you. In fact, they had each other and a lot more to discover. So they were just at the zoo. And each animal had its own closure for them to live in, just like where they would come from. So this is what it looks like where pandas come from in China, and this is where the polar bear lives in the Arctic Circle. The end. Okay. So if you haven't picked up your little packet to take home for the craft, there's still some left, but there's very limited supplies. So you'll need to come in and get it. And I'm going to show you what we're going to make. So I've supplied most of the stuff you'll need, but you will need a few things that I didn't put in the bag. Okay? So I've given you piece of black paper. I've given you the parts to the polar bear. There. And I gave you 2 eyes, a nose, and some ears. There's 2 here. Get them separated. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to put everything down on the table so I can get to it. And I also included some glue dots. Okay, and so this is what we're making. Oh no, it's gone again. Okay, so we're going to keep going just in case it's still recording. So if you notice a straight part here and the top part here, you want to put a lot of glue on the back. You can either use a glue stick or you can use Elmer's glue in the bottle. And you just want to cover the whole back of it with glue. Okay, now I got glue on this side, and I'm going to put it at the very bottom. Okay, just line up the straight with the straight on the bottom of the black paper. Just stick it on there and press it down. Oh, press it down like that. Okay, there you go. And then you take this part. This is the head part. You want the flat part on top and the round part on the bottom. First, we're going to put the ears on. We have two little circles here, but you don't have to use the whole part. You can just put a little glue on the bottom of one side, okay, and then stick it behind the head. Okay, see how it's sticking? Okay, and then you do the same thing for the other one. And you put that on that side. Oops, maybe I didn't put enough glue on there, I'm sorry. Okay, I can feel the glue. Let's put a little bit more. Stick it on. Do you want to do it on the back? Okay. There you go, just like that. And see how it is on the other side? Then you can take all of this and put glue all over the back, even on top of the ears. All covered with glue. See, I have it all over there. And you can either put it straight or you can turn it a little bit, maybe give the polar bear like he's looking around. I'll show you in just a second. Okay, there you go. All right, then I gave you some glue dots. If you remember how to use the glue dots, you have to take the back off. That's the hardest part for Miss Laurie, trying to get that thing to come off. Okay, and you put it where you want the eye to go. And you just remember, rub it, 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 rub it. And then you try peeling it off. If it doesn't come off without pulling the glue dot off, you want to rub it some more. And then you can try it to pull it up from another angle, and it stayed. And so I can plop the eye down right on top of the glue. There we go. And then I have the other one. You might have extra glue dots in case you want to glue the ears on instead of using the glue stick or glue. You can use the glue dot. Okay, I got it this time. No, we don't. This part you might need some help with from Mom and Dad. Okay, I got it. Now I'm going to put this one on. You just do it across from the other eye. And again, you have to rub it in, rub it in, rub it in, rub it in, rub it in. Okay, let me try pulling it off. But I want to leave the glue dot on the white paper. I just want to pull up the plastic. Okay, I did it again. So now I'm going to drop the eye right there. And there's my polar bear so far. Okay, then we got black nose. And once again, another glue dot. I think I need to get them closer to me so I can see it better. And just put it where the nose should be. I'm sure Mom and Dad can help you with that. And rub that glue dot on, and then try to take it off and see if it comes with, oh, you left the glue dot there. Then you take your nose and you press that on. You want to make sure it's going to stick. Okay, let's see if it'll stick when I hold it up. Ta-da! Okay, now the parts that I didn't give you any crayons. Okay, so you have a black crayon and you draw a great big smile on your polar bear, or you can do something like this. Okay, you can do it any way you want. And then, since polar bears live in the Arctic Circle, we're going to have it snowing. Now you can put just little dots on here, or you can make the little snowflakes. And you just decorate it as much or as little as you want. Like I said, it doesn't have to be exactly like Miss Laurie's. You can have it your way. Okay? We still have a few left, so if you want to come pick one up, so you can do this when you watch the stories, you can. All right, my finished artwork. Ta-da! All right. That's all I have for you today. I hope you come in to see us at the library. As long as you're with a parent, you can come in and use the library. We just can't do any programs in the library right now. We'll hopefully start again in March. I'll be back next week with some more stories. If you're in 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten, that's 2 books that I read, and so you can include those in your 1,000 books. You all have a great day and be safe. Bye-bye.